I'm making this video as a resource for people who may have purchased the Lee Safety Prime and are wondering how to get this thing to work. And I wasn't able to find any good resources to help me figure out how to use it. So out of the box, you line this thing up, and there's no real, the geometry doesn't really work. There's no way to line it up totally perfect, but what winds up happening the first 150 rounds or so when you're using this thing, you're wondering, you spend more time picking the primers up off the floor than anything. And if you look at it on the ram upstroke, I don't know if you can tell or not, but there's actually some spacing between this, I don't know what you call that, the plunger and the dispenser. And so what's happening is if you don't know how to apply pressure to the Pac-Man, the dispenser, then you're going to wind up with all kinds of weird stuff happening, most of it bad. I think right off the bat, I was at maybe like 80% failure. So I tinkered with it a little bit because I actually took it off and I was feeding them by hand, and that's retarded. It's just not a very efficient way to do it, and I'm not real positive if touching the primers is a good idea. I'm sure it's not. I did it anyway. So what I came up with was this, and I've gone from mostly failing to mostly succeeding. So I did line it up as best as I could. You'll notice when you push the thing, it kind of does whatever it wants. So the trick is you actually want to use this grip area, because what you're trying to do is you're trying to apply downward pressure. It's going to close the gap between the dispenser and the cup. And once you get the touch for it, it works pretty good. So I'll demonstrate. I got a few sized cases here, and let me show you. So what you're going to want to do is, like I said, downward force and roll it in. Boom. Set it. Sorry, I actually hit index. Let me do a couple more. Didn't prepare very well. I guess I should have probably taken out the indexing feature. Anyway, let me put another one in here. This is just an iPhone video, so it's not going to be very good. So we'll put the ram all the way up. Downward pressure. Cycle through one more time. To begin with, I was just putting pressure back here because I was more concerned with the geometry, keeping it straight. Mostly if you raise the ram, you're going to push it in. See how it's crooked? I thought that was going to be the issue. Well, it's kind of not. So long as you get that thing against that stem and you could put a little downward force, it's going to line up. It doesn't seem like it's going to. Anyway, down, in. Got a couple more here. Downward force, and you'll actually feel the resistance. You'll know you're doing it right when you start doing it right. And so at any time, if you find yourself in a hurry or not paying as much attention, you're still going to wind up dropping primers on the floor. Nope, don't want to do that. That one might have some powder in it, but see, not paying attention. in, downward pressure, click. So that's 5 out of 5, and that's as good as it's gonna get. I did 100 of them last night after I figured it out, and I think I dropped 5. So it's working a lot better. A lot of people, I bought it on Amazon. The reviews are pretty hideous, and you'll understand why when you start using it, because most of them are going to be on the floor. But there you go. You get it set up, and remember to put some pressure down on there. It'll line it up. It'll close the gap. It won't drop them anymore. So I hope that helps. Thanks.